Hi everybody and welcome to Games You Didn't Love Enough, a primer on why you're a dick. John Woo Presents Stranglehold came out 10 years ago, a couple of years after the launch of 7th gen consoles, and it was one of the many games on those systems that simply didn't get enough love. This series aims to look at those underappreciated titles and shame you all into going back and playing them until you either agree with me or you die, whichever comes first. Now, for everybody who already played John Woo Presents Stranglehold, and you can go ahead and get used to that name because it's the one on the box and it's what I'm going to be using. Anyway, for everyone who loved John Woo Presents Stranglehold, I salute you. You can watch this video and nod your head in validation. For everybody else, here's why you're a terrible person who didn't love it enough. To start truly loving John Woo Presents Stranglehold, you need to go back and start loving John Woo's 1992 film Hard Boiled. I don't know why it's called Hard Boiled and not John Woo Presents Hard Boiled, but I guess John Woo wasn't as good at naming things in 1992 as he was in 2007. Anyway, in the terribly named Hard Boiled, badass police inspector Tequila Yuen, played by the equally badass Chow Yun-fat, shoots people sliding down things, shoots people sliding out of things, and shoots people sliding on things. And he also kisses a blood-spattered baby to make the trauma go away. Okay. 15 years after proving that there's nothing quite as scary as Chow Yun-fat covered in flour diving over a table at you, John Woo decided he wanted to make a sequel. Of course, in 2007, movies were pretty much done because the movie adaptation of Mortal Kombat had come out in 1995 and literally nothing had ever topped it since, so why even bother?
I'll crush him in one blow.
Alright. Let's dance.
Instead, John Woo had the smart idea of doing a reverse Mortal Kombat and making his film into a video game instead. He went to the people who made Mortal Kombat, Midway Games, with a truck full of doves and convinced them to make John Woo Presents Stranglehold. Next, he asked Chow Yun-fat, who agreed to be digitally trapped for all eternity on disc.
I will handle it my way.
Which is why he isn't in movies anymore. John Woo Presents Stranglehold is an exercise in prioritising fun. In any given level, there isn't a moment that isn't dedicated to having a blast. It'll take most players around 6 hours to get through the game, but because 90% of that takes place in slow motion, it's actually a 36-minute game, and they're all golden. The concept of diving around planting bullets in bad guys' balls remains fun to this day, almost as fun as it was saying that sentence, and as I played it all through again to grab this footage, I was surprised at just how well it all held up. Much like in Hard Boiled, Tequila's biggest enemy is sobriety, and that's why he's absolutely trolleyed throughout the entire game. Even here, as his wife is dying, you can just tell he's pissed as a newt. Oh, and this guy? That's fucking John Woo. Not only does he write the guy to be an alcoholic train wreck, but he enables him in game 2. Cut him off, John Woo, he's had enough! Each level has one mission: kill everybody between you and the next loading screen. You get more alcohol to fill up your special tequila bombs meter, depending on how stylishly you kill someone. Doing a slow-mo dive and scoring a couple of headshots will net you a little, whilst running up the back of a dinosaur and blasting bad guys will get you a whole lot more. The world is full of interactive objects you can use to be as cool and action hero-y as possible, and it's in these setups that the film shows its John Woo roots the most. Tequila bombs are used for a variety of things, like recovering your health, because every alcoholic knows the secret to everlasting life is more tequila, doing pinpoint nut shots, and my absolute favourite, the barrage skill. This is where Tequila gets so angry he loads his gun with magic bullets. Look at him, he's shaking his head like, "Oh, you fucking done it now, mate." My dad used to look at me like that when I told him the results of the footy before he saw Match of the Day. I knew I was going to get a beating. Anyway, he loads his gun with magic bullets and just goes to fucking town. This is also a good time to point out how incredibly destructible everything is, and you even get an end of level tally of how much you ruined everything. You can imagine the chief of police being like, "Tequila!" There's also a dove move that kills everybody in the room, and whilst this is cool, it's not really as fun as taking a super shotgun to priceless artifacts. Yeah, take that, ancient Mayan civilization. Fuck you. John Woo Presents Stranglehold was Max Payne 3 5 years before Max Payne 3 came out, and it was 5 times better than Max Payne 3. Max Payne 3 was weighty and serious and tried overly hard to earn your respect, whilst John Woo Presents Stranglehold earned your respect instantly by being balls to the walls bananas at all times.
Who told you to stop playing?
It was one of the games you didn't love enough. And whilst official sources might tell you otherwise, it was the biggest reason Midway filed for bankruptcy a couple of years later, disheartened that gamers didn't want real video games anymore. It's sad and everything, and they left a Midway-sized hole in the industry that is yet to be filled, but worse than all those people losing their jobs, however, was the fact that the sequel to John Woo Presents Stranglehold will never see the light of day. It was going to be called John Woo Presents Gunrunner, and it was going to be awesome. It was another run and gun badass simulator which added Vin fucking Diesel in as a playable character, and cool slow-mo co-op action. Just imagine Chow Yun Fat cracking wise with Vinny D. You stole that from me. So thanks a lot, you pricks.